Commission presents The Story of Miriam by Gloria Kearney. Episode 6, Let My People Go.
The days after Aaron's departure to meet with Moses passed slowly for Miriam. Her heart was filled with both longing and doubt, longing to hear what news Aaron would bring, but also doubt that his news could be anything other than more bad news.
Do you think Aaron will come today, Miriam?
You ask this every day, Mother. I'm sure he will come soon.
I couldn't bear to lose 2 sons. That would be too much grief to carry.
Well, we can't make him come any sooner. Aaron!
Hello, Miriam. And also...
Moses!
Yes, it's me, Miriam. You see, I've come back.
Moses! Oh, Moses!
Mother.
Is it really you? So many years have passed. I had almost given up hope. Come in. Miriam fetched some water and some of the bread we made this morning. Well, sit down. You too, Aaron. I'm so relieved that you're both safe. Well, thank God who has guided you and kept you. You two look like you need some feeding up.
Oh, yes, we do.
Family.
Eat, my brothers. You are welcome.
Oh, thanks, Miriam. We got home last night and knew you would be anxious to see us. So we came here as early as we could. Elisheba wanted us to eat there, but we didn't want to waste any time. So we're so grateful for your hospitality.
I'm thankful to our God to be eating bread in my mother's house again. I thought of you all often and wondered if I'd ever see you again. What of my father? Is he well?
Amram is well, praise God. Well, he's at work. Now, tell me all that has happened to you. Oh, I can't believe that all my children are sitting at my table once again.
So as the family ate together, Moses told the story of his stay in Midian. Jochebed rejoiced in the news of 2 more grandchildren, and Miriam listened intently to the account of the burning bush, the miracle signs given by God, and his call to lead her people out of Egypt. Soon the day drew to a close. Amram returned from his labour, and the amazing story was told again.
My son, this is a mighty task God has given you. How will you begin?
Well, God was clear about that. We have to call the elders together and tell them what God has said. We'll do that tomorrow. But now, the hour is late, and we must go back to Aaron's house. Pray for us that our mission will be successful.
We will pray. It will not be an easy task, as many of the leaders are weary and disillusioned. May God go with you.
Did you sleep well last night, Mother?
Oh, not at first. I was too excited at the thought of Moses being here. And then I tried to imagine what my 2 little grandsons might look like. But I did sleep well later on.
I hardly slept at all. Tossed and turned all night. I didn't know what to think. For so long I held on to the dream of a deliverer. And then when Moses left, well, I'd been so sure he would be the one. But 40 years is a long time to hold on to a dream without seeing anything happening. God speaks to me of many things for many people, but he hasn't spoken of a deliverer for so long now. I had given up hope, I think.
Oh, you can't give up hope now, Miriam. Not when deliverance might be near.
It might be near, Mother, but I don't think it will be easy. Moses and Aaron should be speaking to the elders now. I wonder how that is going. I just had to come over. I couldn't wait any longer. What did the elders say?
Well, I was glad that Aaron was there. I think some of the elders were rather suspicious of me. I don't blame them, of course. The younger men had never seen me before, and the older men remember me as one of the enemy, an Egyptian prince. But they all know Aaron and respect him. They listened closely as he told my story, asked lots of questions, and wanted to know the exact words I heard from the burning bush.
Some of them began to murmur, "Our God has heard our cries," but others were not so easily persuaded. "How can we be sure that Moses heard our God? What is the name of the God who spoke to you?" they asked.
I can understand them asking that. It's been so long since God has spoken to our nation. They would also have been worried that Moses might have come under the influence of some false god while in Midian.
Yes, we could understand their position. At that point, I handed over to Moses.
God had told me the elders would ask that very question, so I knew how to answer them. "Tell them, I am has sent you," he instructed me. "Say this to the people of Israel: Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my eternal name, my name to be remembered for all generations."
Some were still doubtful, but Moses told them that God had given him signs to show them, and that soon removed any doubts.
Though I had to resort to the third sign God had given me. The staff turning into a snake and my hand becoming leprous impressed them. But when I sent for water from the Nile River, and it turned to blood as I poured it out, they were all finally convinced that I had been sent by God.
What amazing signs, showing God's authority over Pharaoh, who wears a snake in his headdress, over disease, and over the mighty Nile. No wonder they were convinced.
I found it very moving at the end. The elders bowed down and worshipped our God, thanking him for seeing their misery and hearing their cries.
So what now?
Well, the next part won't be so easy. We have to ask for an audience with the Pharaoh.
You're going to Pharaoh? That could be a dangerous step to take. Are you sure?
It's what God has told us to do, and we must obey.
May God, the great I Am, go with you. I must go home to tell Jochebed and Amram. We will pray for God to protect you.
Who are these men who wish to have an audience with the king of Egypt?
Your Majesty, Lord of the two lands, their names are Moses and Aaron.
Yes, yes. But who are they?
Your Majesty, ruler of rulers, they're Hebrews from Goshen.
Oh, not those tiresome Hebrews again. They're always coming to complain about something. Oh, well, bring them in. This won't take long. I'd soon send them on their way.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
Bring in the Hebrew slaves!
Greetings, Your Majesty, Lord of the two lands. May you live and prosper.
Well, what do you Hebrews want this time?
This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go, so they may hold a festival in my honour in the wilderness.
Is that so? And who is this Lord? Why should I listen to him and let Israel go? I don't know your Lord, nor do I wish to. I will not let Israel go.
The God of the Hebrews has met with us. He is real.
So let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness, so we can offer sacrifices to the Lord our God.
If we don't, he will kill us with a plague or with the sword.
How dare you make demands like that from the king of Egypt? Don't you know he has the power of life and death over you? Why are you distracting my people from their work with foolish ideas like this? Get back to work. You're stopping your people from their work. Get out of my sight. Go!
Very, very well, Your Majesty.
Quickly, go! Pharaoh wants this room cleared immediately.
I'll teach those Hebrews. How dare they come in here telling me what to do? Scribe!
Your Majesty?
Take down these instructions and send them to all the slave drivers and foremen in Egypt. Do not supply any more straw for making bricks. Make the people get it themselves. But still require them to make the same number of bricks as before. Don't reduce the quota. Have you got that?
Don't reduce the quota. Yes, Your Majesty.
They're lazy. That's why they are crying out, let's go and make sacrifices to our God. Load them down with more work and make them sweat. That'll teach them to listen to lies.
Your Majesty, we will send this out immediately.
Make sure you do. Go quickly and report back to me when it's done.
Elsheba, it's so good to see you. I hope you're well, and your family.
Oh, Miriam, I'm so worried. I thought when Moses came back and said that God was going to deliver us, that things would be better. But they've got worse, much worse. Sometimes I wish he had never come back.
I know, my dear, I know. It's a terrible situation we're in now. The people are travelling all over the land to find straw for the bricks, and now it's in short supply. I don't know how it will all end.
And that's not all I'm worried about. My brother Nashon is one of the Hebrew foremen, and Pharaoh had them all whipped the other day because they hadn't met the quota of bricks for 2 days.
I heard about that, but I didn't know about Nashon. I'm so sorry. The slave drivers take such pleasure in the whippings too. Has he recovered from his ordeal?
I think so. He had to go to work the next day as usual, of course. But that's not the worst of it, Miriam. He and the other foremen have decided to go and plead with Pharaoh.
They have what? Don't they know how angry Pharaoh is?
That's why I'm so worried, Miriam. They could lose their lives for this. Moses and Aaron have gone to wait nearby so they can find out what happens. I couldn't bear to wait in the house on my own, so I came here.
Moses, Aaron, what's the news?
My brother, is he all right?
Oh, don't worry, Elisheba. Nashon is safe. But the meeting with Pharaoh didn't go well.
We could hear Pharaoh shouting from where we were waiting outside. He didn't want to listen to the pleas of the foreman.
I knew this wasn't going to be easy. Not easy at all.
Pharaoh kept shouting that the Hebrews were just lazy, yelling that was the reason they were asking to go to offer their sacrifices. He was in such a rage.
In the end, he shouted, "Now, get back to work. No straw will be given to you, but you must still produce the same quota of bricks." We could see it was hopeless, so we left quickly before Pharaoh got even more angry.
Did you get a chance to speak to the elders afterwards?
Yes, though that didn't go well either. They took out their disappointment and anger on us.
Even Nashon?
They were all angry, even Nashon. He didn't speak at first, but I could see it in his face.
I won't easily forget what he said. He looked hard at me and spoke angrily. "May the Lord judge and punish you for making us stink before Pharaoh and his officials. You've put a sword into their hands, an excuse to kill us."
Oh no, I didn't think it would come to this. Life in Egypt was always hard, but it's even worse now. What will you do, Moses?
I will do the only thing I can do. I will take this back to the Lord. I agree with you that everything looks bleak just now, but I know what God said to me. I know the promise he made. I remember his voice at the burning bush. God will tell me what to do.
I hope you are right, Moses. Let us all agree to pray that the God of our fathers will speak to you and will guide you clearly. You can't afford to do anything that will make matters worse.
Elisheba and Aaron made their way home with heavy hearts. Would Nashon continue to be angry and so cause a split in their family? Miriam went to her room to cry out to God in this terrible situation. Would Moses hear from God? What would God say?
In the story of Miriam by Gloria Kearney, Miriam was Candace Foster and Moses Drew Gibson. Aaron was played by Mark Smith and Pharaoh Hugh Finlay. Other parts were played by members of the Commission radio drama team. The play was produced in Commission Studios in Belfast by Colm Flanagan. Episode 7 is entitled Trouble in Egypt.